everyone, and you are listening to Deep Talk, KCMO Talk Radio 710, and we are live today. You know, I woke up today feeling so good. It was beautiful outside. There was just a little bit of a crisp wind, and I look to my right, and I see my husband, and I look down, and I see my 6-month-old golden retriever. And, you know, no matter what has happened in my life, the ups and the downs, today was just a reminder that there's always something to be thankful for, something always to be grateful for. So my question to you is, what can you be grateful for today, despite your circumstances, despite how it's gone up until this point? I invite you to consider that. So last week, we spoke about surrendering your power and control in relationships with my friend Tara Simon, the Senior Vice President of Merchandising from Beauty Brands, and Carrie Casey, the CEO of the National Center for Fathering. Now listen, I never said I was perfect, and trust me, I don't want to be perfect. Just yesterday with my husband, I had to really step back and look at how I was controlling and needing to be powerful in our marriage. You see, he wanted me to come with him somewhere. He wanted me to come with him to this pre-wedding event. Now, for any of you who know anything about Indian weddings, they're huge. I mean, I can speak to the fact that we had a big fat Indian wedding. We had 3 days, 600 people each day. Now, I don't know what it is. I just don't like crowds. It really just makes me anxious. I get overwhelmed. I start to sweat. And I said to my husband, listen, babe, I really don't want to go. And, you know, this went back and forth probably for about half an hour. He said, come on, babe, I really want you to come. I said, I really don't want to go. And then we made a compromise. And he said, fine, you come for an hour. I said, okay, fine. But I don't want to change. I want to wear my sweater and my jeans and a pair of boots. And he said, come on, can you just wear some beautiful Indian clothes? I love to see my wife all dressed up in beautiful Indian clothes. And there was something inside of me that I needed to control. I was like, no, there's no way that I'm going to let you tell me what to do. You could just hear this. And I'm hearing it right now as I'm saying it out loud. Wow, I needed to control the heck out of that situation. And I don't know what happened inside of me. He went downstairs to walk my dog, our dog, Lainey, and something just snapped inside of me. I said, what am I holding on to? What am I really trying to control here? This is my husband. This is the man that I vowed to be with for the rest of my life, and I was committed to him. And I love him so much. So I went into our bedroom. I put on my best Indian clothes. I was doing my makeup, was doing my hair. And he came back into the apartment and he said, you're dressed. I said, I know. And he said, why? Why are you doing that? He was just so surprised because for those of you who don't know me, I am a recovering perfectionist and control freak. But sometimes it does come out from time to time. So he sat there stunned and I'm sitting there putting on my makeup like, oh, it's fine. It's no big deal. And then he said to me, babe, I really got to know, how come you chose to put on your Indian clothes and come with me? And I just looked at him and I said, babe, I love you more than I love needing to be right. I love you more than I love arguing with you. And both of us started crying. He cried and I had makeup running down my face and it was quite a scene, but it really hit me in that moment that I was just needing to be right with him. I just needed to control the situation. And let me tell you, we went to that pre-wedding event. He had the biggest smile on my face. And he actually texted me this morning, and I want to share it with you guys. He said, thank you for being you yesterday. It's the woman that I fell in love with. I truly felt the abundance of compassion and love that you have for me. You put a smile on my face, and it's still on my face. So thank you so much for being there for me. You know, all that surrendering that I did was worth getting that text message from him. It was worth it. The need to control, really, the minute I surrendered that, I mean, I really saw the connection that we had and that we could have in our relationship. So I wanted to say thank you to Tara and Casey for really, in your own unique way, teaching all of us that surrendering isn't about weakness or about failure. It really is about valuing your relationship more than your need to be right. And my wish is that all of you were able to see when you're trying to be right in your relationship. And really, what's the cost of that? I know that I took in all the pearls of wisdom that Tara and Casey poured into that 1 hour. And really, that's what you can expect here on Deep Talk, is really to have great guests that are going to shower all of us with just amazing knowledge from their own life experience. So this week, I am so excited. How many of you have ever seen the movie The Secret? How many of you have ever read the book The Secret? Well, if you remember watching the movie The Secret, which really talks a lot about the law of attraction, you would remember a beautiful woman with mocha skin and just big black hair who just radiated sheer energy and presence. She is beautiful from the inside out, and her name is Lisa Nichols. Aside from the fact that she has 2 best-selling books, Chicken Soup for the Soul, which were both bestsellers, and also her most recent book, No Matter What, which actually, in the first 37 days of being released, it was printed in 20 foreign languages, and it hit the New York Times best-selling list. This woman, my mentor, Lisa Nichols, she's been coined the breakthrough specialist by her peers in the industry, and trust me, guys, she is. On a personal note, I am proud to say that my guest, Lisa Nichols, today is so much more than just a guest. She's my mentor, she's a powerful leader, and she's a sister. And she talks her talk and walks her walk. For me, she is the model of authentic and transparent humanity. She's a gift from God, and I am so excited for her to be on the show today. I get to spend a whole year soaking up her knowledge, her life experience, and wisdom in San Diego in her global leadership program. And what we're going to be talking about today is really what Lisa is an expert in. It's the law of attraction. It's really about having the life that you want, despite the life that you've already had. It's about having you get out of your own way. It's about forgiving what has already happened. It's about breaking through those barriers that's been holding you back. And it really is about the fact that you can have anything that you want. Let me say that again. You can have anything that you want in your life. And Lisa is a prime example of that. And I know one thing for sure. When I'm in Lisa's presence, when Lisa's talking, I shut up. And I'm sure you guys can already tell that's not very easy for me to shut up. My gift to all of you today is Lisa Nichols, and I am so excited that she's taken the time out of her schedule to be here with us today. And I really want you guys to listen from a place of thinking beyond your circumstances, thinking from your highest and your best self. You know, we all have stories in our life. We all have stuff that we've been holding on to from the past. But I want to tell you something. You are not your past. See, we believe that because of what happened in our past, that we are defined by our past. You know, things may have happened to us when we were children. Our parents or other people may have said something to us, and therefore we are defined by that. And our future is defined by that. And that is not the case. Lisa's going to share her story about how her life has gone and really how she made it to where she is now. She's a true story and a true inspiration that you can have it all. So we're going to go to break now. And when we get back, I'm going to introduce to you our fabulous guest, Lisa Nichols. And you're listening to Deep Talk, KCMO Talk Radio 710.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Laura Ingraham. She's outspoken.
It's the land of reality TV, of hypersexualization of young women.
Opinionated.
Get famous for the sake of getting famous, because that is the ultimate goal. Be famous.
And not afraid to tell the truth.
Paris Hilton became famous because of a sex tape.
Laura Ingraham. Weekdays from 9 to 11 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com, 913-951-1764.
At Advance Auto Parts, we don't do anything just part way. We go full throttle. We don't just have monthly specials on oil. No, we work to bring you deals that'll knock your lucky socks off. Right now, you can get a 5+ quarts jug of Pennzoil conventional motor oil and filter for just $20.99. And speaking of lucky, when you come into Advance Auto Parts, you can enter to win free gas for a year. So hunt down your lucky rabbit's foot and throw on your rarely washed lucky t-shirt, because right now, everybody gets lucky at Advance with a great deal on oil. And 5 even luckier people win free gas for an entire year. Get a Pennzoil conventional oil change special for just $20.99 and enter to win free gas for a year. Right now at Advance Auto Parts. Service is our best part. Advance Auto Parts. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit advanceautoparts.com/Pennzoil for program rules and to enter.
It's the first day of my new job, and the last thing I want is to show up late. Fortunately, my GPS gets me right where I need to be without any delays along the way.
Destination ahead.
I want the same thing when I do my taxes. TurboTax has a unique GPS feature that guides me step by step, and calculations are guaranteed 100% accurate, so I know it's done right, which helps me reach my maximum refund guaranteed.
Go to TurboTax.com today. Accurate calculations and maximum refund money-back guarantee details at TurboTax.com.
Mike Rowe here with Jim Twitchell. Jim, what are you?
I'm a senior master technician.
You've been with Ford now for how long?
24 years, thankfully.
Jim, a lot of people hear about the works and they figure it's an oil change. It is an oil change, right?
No, Mike, it's not just an oil change.
Please proceed.
Well, it includes a brake inspection, belt and hoses check, checking your cabin filter, your air filter, tire rotation, battery test, top off all the fluids, and a multi-point inspection with a detailed report card.
All right. It certainly seems comprehensive, this works thing. What doesn't it include?
Well, that list is probably very short.
Glove compartment? You check that?
We try to stay out of your glove box.
What about my antenna?
Come see the experts at your local Ford dealer for a great value on routine service. The Works Fuel Saver package covers everything you need for just $29.95 or less after $10 rebate. Stop by today.
If we were to sum up, you'd say the Works Fuel Saver package includes pretty much everything for one low price.
It'll cover everything that your car needs for a scheduled maintenance service.
Up to 5 quarts oil, taxes, diesel, and disposal fees extra. See participating Ford dealer or visit FordOwner.com for rebate details through 3/31/12.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
Dave Ramsey.
Look at their financing. How's it going? How's it working for them?
Tune in to Dave Ramsey, weekdays from 11 till 2 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Hey everyone, we are back. This is Deep Talk with Vasavi, and you're listening to KCMO Talk Radio 710. So here's my question to you. How is your story keeping you stuck in your life? If you want to get unstuck and learn more about how transformational coaching can help you, go to my website at www.vasavikumar.com or call me at 913-951-1764 and sign up for your complimentary 60-minute coaching session today. So like I told all of you, I'm very excited because my mentor, Lisa Nichols, who was featured in the movie The Secret. She's the author of 2 best-selling Chicken Soup for the Soul books and a New York Times best-selling book and author of No Matter What. And she's also a law of attraction expert, is here with us today. So thank you, Lisa, for calling in live on a Sunday. It really does mean a lot to me and all of our listeners.
Thank you so much, Vasavi. How are you doing today?
Oh, my God, Lisa, you got to see my face. I have the cheesiest smile on my face right now.
I know. I got a text from my assistant, Margaret, who you know very well, who's who's the concierge for our program, Global Leadership, and she said, Vasavi is so excited. I told her just to breathe.
You know what? I got that text, and she said, take 2 deep breaths, and that's exactly what I did right before we went on air. So I know how busy you are, Lisa, and I just want to say thank you. I love you so much. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm on a 12-day, 5-city, 11-event tour right now, and today is the day of rest. But there's only one thing that I would rather be doing other than laying back, watching some of the movies, my CSI movies, and that is talking to Vasavi. So I have to tell you, I am so incredibly proud of you. I mean, just hearing your voice and hearing your message and your level of transparency and authenticity. You are a stand. You are a model. And I was sitting here while you were talking about your experience yesterday with your husband, and I was just literally basking in your willingness to surrender. And it brought me to a note that Susie sent me. I saw it on her phone, and you know Susie, she's the president of the company, and she's your personal development coach and expert coach in our global leadership program. And I saw something on her phone, and I asked her would she send it to me because Margaret and I have been talking about this and surrendering. And then you talk about it, and it says apologizing does not always mean you're wrong. It just means that you value your relationship more than your ego. And you opened up with that example, real live, living, breathing, yesterday example. And so I just celebrate you. I'm a proud coach right now, and you're an amazing student.
Thank you so much. Lisa, I can't even talk. I'm telling you, I got to talk because I'm on talk radio, but thank you. Thank you so much. It means so much to me coming from you. And I just want to, let everyone know that who you are. And I want you to obviously introduce that you are someone who can walk into any room with any demographic of people and speak directly to their soul. I mean, seriously, it could be a 65-year-old white man to a 40-year-old Chinese woman, to a 29-year-old Indian woman like myself. Yes, and when I think of you, I mean, my personal experience, that's who Lisa is. She can talk to anyone's soul, and not many people I have found can really do that. So can you share with our listeners who may not really be familiar with your work, just who you are and what makes you you?
Well, thank you for that acknowledgement, and it's funny that you just said those different touch points, because on this tour I have been in front of each one of those that demographic that you said, and we've had divine connection. I'm not interested in reading my bio to people, and I don't think that's what you want. I think you want my life's purpose and what I stand for. I am, and my colleagues in the industry call me the breakthrough specialist. Well, let me tell you why that title sort of emerged in my life, because I needed 1,000,001 breakthroughs myself. When I was called and interviewed to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show, they asked me the question, now that you know about the law of attraction, how is life better? And I said, in order for you to know how life's better now, you need to know what a mess it was before, because it's the distance between the two that really is the interesting conversation. Vasavi, I come from a background where I had a lot of love in my family, but that was about the only thing that was abundant in my world. Everything else had scarcity and lack around it. Everything else was not enough. Everything else was about struggle. And so for me, I developed a mindset that life had to be hard, that it had to have struggle to it, that even if everything was looking right, my personal self-esteem was daunted in some way. My dark skin, my mocha skin, and my full lips, and my round hips, and my kinky hair was more of a burden than it was a celebration, whatever. And we all have our packages. Your package may be different, but you still have your particular things you choose to make difficult. So in my life, I decided that I needed to change my mental zip code, Vasavi, that where my mind lived didn't support the life that I wanted to create. I realized that wealth and success and prosperity had to first start in my mind. I had to believe that I deserve something better. I had to give myself permission to orchestrate and design a breathtaking future. And then it could occur. Now, for many in my community where I was raised, that seemed hokey pokey, that seemed woo-woo, that seemed wild. But I realized that if I can think, imagine, picture, design in my brain, and then make myself feel it so much that I can taste something different, then the action was the natural next step, and then creation and immersion of something new was the natural outcome. And so I'm an architect and a designer of possibility. I mean, if you really want to know, and that's nowhere on my bio, but I'm an architect and designer of possibility. And as ambiguous and unable to touch that as you are, it's so set in practical steps. I teach you. You're my student. You invested to study with me for a year in my premier program, in the Global Leadership Program. And we started the program. If you remember the very first course that we had last August, I asked you what's standing in your way. What do you have to look at? And I know people like you, because you are a mover and shaker. You wake up running, girl. I think you, when you were born, you ran from the doctors. They had to catch you to, cut the umbilical cord. You are a mover and shaker. You came in, and I had to get you still. I had to get you to stop thinking about the radio shows and the blogs and the social networking. And I had to get you still to say, who is Vasavi today? How does she want to be remembered? Let's design the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And what's currently standing in your way to be her. If you remember, before we got to the application of your business development, we shed a lot of tears. We pulled back a lot of layers so we can find out, who are you working with when you work with Vasavi? And I mean you. Who are you personally? Who's the world getting when they get Vasavi? And what part of you do you know you want to take to the next level? And what does it take to have a mental mind shift? What does it take to move your mind to a new zip code? Remember, we did all of that first. And then we got to look at your dreams and your goals. And so if you ask me who I am, I'm a student learner while I'm a teacher. I'm willing to know everything about what I know and know nothing about what I don't know. I'm willing to stand in my greatness, stand in my humility, and recognize my smallness when I need to. So I'm willing to know everything and know nothing.
Lisa, I mean, I remember that day when I was in the Global Leadership Program, and I just want to let our listeners know that you are listening to KCMO 710 Talk Radio, and this is Deep Talk, and we are going deep into your soul with Lisa Nichols. But see, you said something. You said that you had to decide. You had to decide to change your mental zip code.
Yes. And
I need to ask you, though, how were you able, despite the fact that you came from a loving family, but there was, in other areas of your life, scarcity and lack, how were you able to see the lesson or find the gold in painful situations? Because what I think on a much deeper level, what you're saying is, in order for you to get to where you want to be, you have to be willing to look at your current situation, be grateful for it, but also be able to change your perspective. And and not say, oh, it's always going to be this way. Really seeing, why did the universe give me this situation right now? So I'm wondering with you, because in your book, your book, No Matter What, you are so raw and you are so real about your life's challenges. So how are you able to see the lesson in painful situations that you've gone through?
Let me give you a couple of steps and a couple of things to do. Because, number one, every situation that you're going through, if you can hear my voice, you are included in this conversation. Every situation that you're going to is designed to bring out the greatness in you. You have to start life knowing that. That's not a wonder, Vasavi. That's not negotiable. That's not something that happens only here and there or sparingly. Every situation you're going through is designed to bring the best out in you. So number one, recognize that every gift many gifts come wrapped in sandpaper.
So hold on one second, Lisa. Guys, I want you to hear this. We're already on our first step, and that life's gifts are wrapped in sandpaper. And Lisa, just hold that thought. We're going to go to break. Guys, you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO 710 Talk Radio. Don't change that dial, because we have the wonderful Lisa Nichols with us.
KCMO Morning Show with Greg Knapp.
Major news outlets and Google are complicit in helping hurt Santorum. Google Bomb. Now, Google Bomb is when you set something up so that if you type in a word, the very first thing that pops up in Google is what you want it to pop up.
Good morning, Greg. That's one of the reasons why I no longer will ever use Google. You can just stop using their services.
It's just one more example of what we've seen so many times from the so-called tolerant left.
Greg Knapp, weekdays from
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. It's off to a flying stop. The trial in Egypt of 16 American pro-democracy activists accused of creating unrest due to start today, now delayed till April.
That gives everybody a little bit more time for some diplomatic maneuvering. The other thing that's been floated is the laws that were allegedly broken here might be changed, making what everybody did not illegal at all. That may be one way for everybody to save face.
Fox's Leland Bittert. Early voting has ended in Arizona ahead of Tuesday's primary. For the voters who want to change their minds, it's too late.
For a while, Mitt Romney had been doing very well in polls in Arizona. And then after early voting had begun in the state, Rick Santorum started gaining momentum nationally. Then he started creeping up in the polls in Arizona.
Fox Radio's Jessica Rosenthal. Tonight, the Oscars. Last night, the Razzies. For the worst in Hollywood, Adam Sandler getting a record 11 nominations. The winners to be announced April Fool's Day. Fox News. We report, you decide.
710.
Windy conditions will continue throughout the day today. Expect gusts above 20 miles an hour out of the west-southwest. Temperatures will be on the warm side with a high in the upper 50s this afternoon. That wind will start to calm down after sunset tonight, and then rain chances increase on Monday night and thunderstorm chances return on Tuesday. I'm KCTV5 meteorologist Tom Walks.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com, 913-951-1764.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
At Quicken Loans, we close many of our home loans in 30 days or less. But if you work with someone other than Quicken Loans, you might be dealing with a lender that takes a lot longer. Here's an analogy. I ordered a pizza 4 hours ago that should have arrived in 30 minutes or less. Think of my cold, unappetizing pizza as a mortgage from a lender that doesn't care about closing loans quickly.
Here's your pizza, dude.
You should have been here a lot sooner.
Who do you think I am? Quicken Loans?
The choice is clear. A mortgage from a lender that takes forever to close your loan, or a piping hot mortgage from Quicken Loans that arrives fresh at your door in as quick as 30 days or less. One more way, Quicken Loans is engineered to amaze. The rate today on a 30-year fixed mortgage is an incredible 3.875%. APR 4.17%. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or go to QuickenLoans.com.
Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. Nationwide licensing number 3030.
Who are you? What makes you tick? What makes your heart race? I want to know. You see, my purpose is to support you on your journey. My name is Vasavi Kumar, and I specialize in transformational coaching and speaking. Let's set up your 60-minute coaching session today. Call me at 913-951-1764. That's 913-951-1764.
KCMO Talk Radio 710. Cutting through liberal bias with a Fox News laser. Kansas City station for Fox News Radio. KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Hey everybody, we are back. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar, and you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. And I'm here with one of my favorite people, Lisa Nichols, from the movie The Secret, the author of 2 best-selling books, Chicken Soup for the Soul, and the author of the New York Times best-selling book, No Matter What. Hi, Lisa.
Hello. I'm so happy to be with you, Vasavi.
I know, really. I could just feel you. I could feel you through the microphone. I really can. So listen, guys, we've just been talking about the steps to seeing the lessons in painful situations. Because, listen, let's just face the fact. We all have pain in our life. The question is, do you want to operate from a wounded place? Operate from pain, which is exactly what I was doing yesterday with my husband, by the way. Let me just be transparent. I was operating from a very wounded place with my husband when I felt the need to control the situation. Or do you want to operate from a place filled with love and abundance and prosperity and love for yourself and others? So the first step that Lisa has just talked about is knowing that your gifts are wrapped in sandpaper.
Well, and it's also, it's recognizing that when you can see the gift, when you can see, and you have to ask a better question, Vasavi, to understand the gift, because I know someone's saying, okay, how can you tell me that the breakup of this relationship was a gift? How can you tell me that getting ill was a gift, Lisa? How can you say such a thing? Well, it's not the actual situation that's the gift, but it's the part in your character that getting through this situation will rise up. So you've gone through something, and you know you have to expand your forgiveness. Yesterday, you were sitting in a small moment, and something in you had to expand. You had to get down and grab something in you, Vasavi, that you may not have had to grab before if you want to stay in this marriage and make this marriage work. So when you go through something, you have to access more forgiveness. You have to become more determined. I remember when I was going through an abusive relationship, and it turned abusive 5 months before my wedding date. I had never seen it before. I remember having to access a part of my faith that I had never seen before. I remember having to access a part of my compassion I had never seen before. The internal strength that rose in me surprised me. And I did it because I wanted to get through the situation. I didn't necessarily want to stay in the relationship, but I wanted to come out shining, not wounded. I wanted to stand on my story, not in my story. So just remember that every situation that comes up, that rises up, that doesn't feel good, it's designed to be your fuel, not your fortress. And I'll say that again. A fortress is something that stands between you and joy. A fortress is something that stands between you and what you want and what you love. A fortress is something that stands between you and the dream. The situation that rises up is designed to be your fuel, not your fortress. So, but when you look at it that way, you have to be willing to say, what's the lesson? I just started this statement with ask a better question. Throw out the question, why me? Throw out the question, don't ever ask it again, why me? Why did I go through this? Replace that question with, what muscle in my character is being developed because of this situation?
And guys, listen to this. Lisa has about, how many muscles is it, Lisa? 8 in your book, No Matter What? Is it 8 muscles?
9 muscles. So, 9 muscles in the book.
Guys.
Bounce back muscles. They're called your bounce back muscles.
Okay, so this leads into my next question. So guys, if you haven't read Lisa's book, No Matter What, I said this before, it is one of the most raw and real and practical personal growth self-help books that you will ever find. I've actually finished it in 2 days. So, Lisa, I have a question for people that are on their journey of just, learning to dig deep. Can you share with us, how did you dig deep to uncover, bless, and release your demons on your way to being successful?
Well, I didn't even see them as my demons. I just thought it was life. It's just my stuff. But what I realized was I couldn't, and I want you to, I'm a very picture, I talk in pictures because I love to be able to explain so you can see it. Imagine that you're walking through a door, and on the other side of the door is everything you want, everything you want, joy, peace, love, happiness. You're walking through this door, but you have behind you like 15 big bags full of your stuff. It's full of the anger at your mom when you were young. It's full of I wasn't treated well in my teen years. It's full of those last few relationships that didn't work. It's full of your fear storms. And the only way you are agreeing to get through that door is if you can take all this baggage with you. But the door is too thin for that. Your baggage and your issues won't fit in this new season you want to get to, this new room you're trying to get to. I wanted to get to this place called possibility, prosperity, abundance, joy. I mean, true, inside, dark of the night, not middle of the day wearing my MAC makeup and I'm doing this whole smiley thing with people. I wanted to be as happy in the dark of the night when I was by myself as I wanted to appear in the middle of the day. And I'm trying to walk through this door, Vasavi, and I got all this stuff. I'm dark. I'm not pretty. I come from South Central LA. My family was broke all my life. I got all this story. That was my truth. It wasn't just a story. It was my life. But I was using the story as my fortress. And I kept saying, why can't I get through this door? Why can't I make it to the next level? If you're hearing my voice, you probably said something like, why can't I just break through to that next level? And my statement is, you probably are trying to bring too much with you, and you can't fit through the door. So I turned around. Now, this is not a quick thing, and that's why, Vasavi, that book was so deep, and it was so penetrating. Every chapter in that book was a journey for me. It was time work. It's why you are working with me for a year. It's why you know it doesn't happen overnight. I turned around metaphorically and I opened every one of those bags and I looked at the stuff that I was using to hold me back, and I had to render each situation powerless in my life. And so it takes work. It's why you're doing what you're doing. You know, I created this video NAR course called No Matter What Mindset. And I designed the video NAR around the book. Can you believe that? Last time we were together, I didn't have it. I designed this video NAR around the book so I can bring the conversation to life just like you and I are right now and walk people through a 6-series course that they only get one course a week. Like, you can't even handle more than one course a week, because then you need to go away and you need to do some self-work. You need to do the things that I'm asking you to do, because it's a layered situation, Vasavi. It's something that when you're going through transformation, it's neither quick nor fast, but it's more penetrating and powerful than anything else you can possibly do. And you have to be committed to a breathtaking, barely recognizable future more than you're committed to holding on to that story.
So, simply stated, transformation is not a 2-minute microwave dinner.
It is not a Google download.
I love when you say that. It's not a Google download. Guys, this is a great station. We're on KCMO 710 Talk Radio, and we're going deep with my mentor, Lisa Nichols. Lisa, I have to, we've been talking about the book No Matter What. And in your book, you say that using the law of no matter what is an integral part of the process of having what you want in life. And I kind of started the show saying, we're talking about law of attraction, but you said that using the law of no matter, if you're not using the law of no matter what, you can't expect the law of attraction to work. So can you tell our listeners about the law of no matter what?
Absolutely. So the law of attraction is really understanding that your mind is creating your reality. Your mind is the designing mechanism that designs your future. Your life is a physical manifestation of the conversation that's going on in your head. So if you want to write that down, my life is the physical creation of what's going on in my head. You get up today and you say, it's a beautiful day. Vasavi said, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to have a great day. She's really going to have a great day. You're designing your day, your life, your relationships with what you're thinking. Now, the law of no matter what, very important. Now, this is that, and I love your acknowledgement. My book is very practical. It's not so airy-fairy, and it's not so out there. It's not so that you cannot apply it every day. And so no matter what is the commitment, the decision to take every other option off the table. Most people who want to go Vasavi, they really, really want it. They would really, really like it, but they have not become non-negotiable about it yet. So when you say, I really want a thriving business, but I don't want it to take me too much time. Okay, what happens that day where your business requires 12 hours out of you and you only want to give 8? That means you haven't become non-negotiable yet. What happens when you're in that relationship and I really love my husband and I want to have a great relationship, but you know what? I need to be right. I need my ego. I can't give him the power. That means you haven't become non-negotiable. Yesterday, you killed your ego, or your she-go, as I like to call her. Yesterday, you killed your she-go because you're non-negotiable about your marriage. So no matter what, it's taking every other option off the table, moving from optional to non-negotiable. Being willing, get these 2 words, being willing to become radical and unapologetic about who you are becoming. Now, when you get to that, something shifts, Vasavi, in your mindset, in your neurological, your physiological makeup, and in your action. You're willing to go the distance. I became, no matter what, I became non-negotiable when I had to wrap my son in a towel for 2 days because I couldn't afford Pampers when he was 8 months old. My son's now 17 years old. But when he was 8 months, I was broke. I didn't have any money, and I had to wrap him in a towel. And I remember that day, I became what I like to call now as bankrupt. Bankrupt on the conversation of misery and lack and deprivation. And, the idea of bankruptcy is when you have no more, you're starting over, clean my slate, it's all done, I'm through struggling with that conversation, and we only know it as financial bankruptcy. But there's a time when you can become emotionally bankrupt with that challenge, that lifestyle. I became emotionally bankrupt with struggle. And I decided I'm going to live in a space of creation. And all of a sudden I moved from negotiable to non-negotiable, from optional to no matter what. When you do that, the universe literally can feel an energetic shift in you, Vasavi. And when you move to no matter what, everyone around you is given notice without you saying a word. It's in your energy. It's in your mindset. Girl, it's in the way you walk. It's in the way you lean forward. It's in the way you surrender. It's in the way you love. It's in the way you release. It's in every fiber of your being when you become no matter what about that situation. And I tell you, people will begin, it's contagious. People will begin to follow you. People will begin to jump on board. People will begin to adorn you. People will begin to celebrate you because they want that energy as well, and they believe you're going to make it. Because you become no matter what. You may not have all the factors in place. When you came to me as a student, you didn't have everything in place, but I knew you were no matter what. So I was going to stand beside you until we got there.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And for all my listeners out there that just need a little oomph in their bounce back muscle, in one sentence, what can you say to them? They just need a little oomph. What's one piece of wisdom that you can share? I mean, you've shared a lot with our listeners, but just like if you could just say one thing to all the people listening, what do you want to say?
Give yourself 1,000 second chances, and every time you get to 999, press reset.
That is so beautiful. Lisa, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you in April. I get to spend a whole week with you in San Diego.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm so excited. Guys, this has been great. We've just been talking to Lisa Nichols, and we're going to go to break, and you have been listening to Deep Talk, KCMO 710 Talk Radio.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Dave Ramsey.
You don't get to keep the car unless you pay it. A demand that you and your wife stop your freaking overspending, and the student loans are going to be there, period.
Financial freedom mixed with common sense.
Get your stinking cars paid off. Teach him wisdom. You can attack this debt and work your way through it.
Tune in to Dave Ramsey, weekdays from 11 till 2 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com, 913-951-1764.
Mayhem is everywhere.
Hi, I'm the automated hold system for your cut rate claims department. To get forwarded to the wrong person, press 1. To get put on hold for 40 minutes and then disconnected, press 2. To repeat your story to the entire company, including the cleaning staff, press 3. To do something that isn't stupid, hang up and get Allstate. The only insurance company who guarantees your claim experience won't be mayhem. Like me.
Introducing the Claim Satisfaction Guarantee, only from Allstate. Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate.
Only Allstate has claim service so good, it's guaranteed. To learn more or find an agent near you, visit allstate.com/satisfaction. That's allstate.com/satisfaction. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Premium credit varies based on vehicle involved. Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and their affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
They employ much of the world's workforce, contribute a great deal to the global GDP. Look out your window and you'll see a bunch of them. Building, collaborating, innovating. Some call them mid-sized businesses, but there's nothing mid about them. They're engines, and we'd like to introduce them to you. IBM and the Good Company Project are proud to present some of the most inspired mid-sized companies and their business partners, helping to build a smarter planet. Get to know these engines by visiting facebook.com/midmarketibm. Mid-sized businesses are the engines of a smarter planet.
710.
Caring for KC.
There's nothing more important to any of us than keeping our children safe. Make sure your kids know that they shouldn't give out their name, age, address, or phone number on the internet. Let's all work together to stop child abduction.
For more information on this and other community efforts, visit the KCMO Talk Radio 710 Community Affairs website at caringforkc.com. KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Today on Sweet Jack, a frozen margarita paired with a cheesy stuffed burrito. Hungry yet? Get your cilantros for 50% off at Sweet Jack. Say what? 50% off at cilantros from sweetjack.com.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
Where do you find the funny on your radio? The new Funny 1025. It's 24/7 comedy radio powered by the 7th Street Casino and Monarch Moving. How funny is it? Find out for yourself at Funny 1025.
Take the survey right now, KCMOTalkRadio710.com. Should Kansans be able to vote on a constitutional amendment saying you can't be forced to buy health insurance? KCMOTalkRadio710.com.
We're back. I'm Vasavi, and you are listening to Deep Talk on KCMO 710 Talk Radio. And if any of this stuff resonated with you, you know you can always give me a call. Actually, my phone is blowing up right now. People are calling me. My number is 913-951-1764. You can also email me at Vasavi, and let me spell that for you, V-A-S, as in Sam, A-V-I, at Vasavi Kumar, K-U-M as in Mary, A-R.com. It's Vasavi at VasaviKumar.com. We just had such a wonderful show up until this point with Lisa Nichols. I mean, I'm so blessed and just humbled that she took the time out on a Sunday to come be on the show with us. So I'm really thankful, and I can't wait to see her in April. I want you to mark it in your calendars. Next week, everyone, same day, same time, same place. Sundays at 11 a.m. on KCMO Talk Radio 710. I am going to be bringing in my dear friend and colleague, Doreen Rainey. She's actually in the same global leadership program with Lisa Nichols as I am. And she's a radical success coach. No, really. She's really radical. And she'll be discussing the 7 steps to radical success. It's amazing. I mean, we talked about this last week, and I was blown away at just how clear it was. And she really works with people on having very clear goals in their life and moving past the stuff or the story that Lisa was talking about, really to improve their professional and personal relationships and just start moving on a path towards personal fulfillment, because that's what we all crave, is fulfillment and happiness and love in our life. And she's also the founder of the Get Radical Women's Conference, which is going to be held in D.C. this year, March 30th through April 1st. Actually, I'm one of the featured coaches there. She's going to have a list of coaches that you can sign up with. It's a huge conference. I think she's on her 4th year. And wow, this year we have an all-star lineup of speakers. Our very own Lisa Nichols is going to be one of the speakers. Susie Orman and Jillian Michaels are going to be presenting at the Get Radical Women Conference. If you're an entrepreneur and you think that this is really maybe a kind of atmosphere and environment that you want to be in, this is my first time going to the conference, and I'm really excited to be one of the coaches there, but it's supposed to be amazing. And you can't go wrong with someone like Lisa Nichols, Susie Orman, and Jillian Michaels. So if you're interested to get your tickets, just go to getradicalconference.com. So we've just been talking with Lisa about so much. We've been talking about the law of no matter what, that is really your mindset, and that's really your commitment to getting every other option off the table. It means letting go of the past, letting go of all the self-defeating thoughts, the negative talk that you've been saying to yourself. I often say to clients, would you drink a bottle of bleach? They say, no, I would never drink a bottle of bleach. I said, well, it's the same thing. Why would you feed your mind and feed your soul with negative thoughts? Let me tell you, I mean, if anyone who knows me knows that I used to carry an emotional bat around with me. It was very easy to beat myself up emotionally, make myself wrong. And it wasn't until I practiced the law of no matter what and really vowed to let go of that and say, no, I am going to treat myself with kindness. I often do a mind map with clients where we talk about really what does success mean to you. And I'm crystal clear that, yes, money is great and success is great and wealth is great and fame is awesome. But you know what success really means to me? Being kind to myself and being kind to the people around me. And that's always a work in progress, because it's like I just told you guys yesterday. It was so hard for me to surrender my control with my husband, but I had to, because I'm more committed to showing him how much I love him and to being in a relationship as opposed to just being alone and being in a relationship by myself, because that's not what I signed up for when I got married. And we've also talked about with Lisa being willing to be radical and unapologetic. So what does that mean? You know, being willing to be radical and unapologetic. For any of you who have heard Marianne Williamson's quote, I'm going to just read the first few lines. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? But then she says, who am I not to be any of those things? And that's really what Lisa was talking about when she said being willing to be radical and unapologetic. You have nothing to be apologetic for if you are successful, if you're the smartest one in the room, if you have the answer, if you're on a clear path. And Lisa said this, once you start to shift, people will want to get on board with you. You know what? We're running out of time. So you've been listening to Deep Talk. I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar, and this is KCMO.